Collecting a venous blood specimen for RNA testing is very much like collecting blood specimens for other diagnostic tests, but with a few important differences. Because the PAXgene blood RNA tube is pre-filled with a liquid reagent, it's important that the tube remain upright during specimen collection to prevent backflow. To help ensure this, you'll need to draw the specimen using a winged blood collection set, such as the BD Vacutainer push-button blood collection set, while allowing the tube to remain vertical as blood is drawn. Place the donor's arm in a downward position and hold the tube vertically below the collection site. Be sure that the tube additive doesn't touch the tube stopper or the end of the sample needle during venipuncture. The PAXgene blood RNA tube contains a precisely measured amount of stabilizing additive based on a specific volume of blood to be drawn. To ensure an appropriate blood-to-additive ratio, it's important that the full 2.5 milliliter specimen is collected, and that requires special attention in two areas: allowing the tube to fill until its vacuum is exhausted, and using a discard tube when the PAXgene tube is the only tube drawn, or leaving the PAXgene tube as the last tube to be drawn when drawing multiple tubes. To collect a specimen, you'll need to assemble a few blood collection supplies. Personal protective equipment, such as gloves and a lab coat, an appropriately labeled PAXgene blood RNA tube, alcohol swabs, sterile gauze pads, bandage strips, a disposable tourniquet, a discard tube, usually a no-additive specimen tube, a winged blood collection set, such as the BD Vacutainer push-button blood collection set, and a matching single-use needle holder, such as the BD Vacutainer one-use holder. Perform the blood collection as you normally would, following your institution's policies and procedures, applying a tourniquet, identifying an appropriate site, cleansing the site with an alcohol swab, and waiting for it to dry completely. Then, collect the test specimen using a winged collection set, remembering to keep the PAXgene blood RNA tube oriented vertically and below the collection site. When blood is collected using a winged collection set, air in the set is drawn into the tube first, followed by a reduced quantity of blood. To maintain proper additive ratios, if the PAXgene tube is the only tube to be collected, collect a small amount of blood into a discard tube and set it aside prior to collecting blood in the PAXgene tube. Otherwise, collect blood in all other tubes first, leaving the PAXgene tube as the last tube to be drawn. Allow the PAXgene blood RNA tube to fill completely, at which time its vacuum is exhausted. It's important to ensure that the blood flow has stopped completely before removing the tube from the holder. Mix the sample by gently inverting the tube 8 to 10 times, allowing the reagent to mix thoroughly. Following the collection, release the tourniquet, activate the collection set safety feature, and discard the blood collection set and holder in the nearest sharps container. The collected specimen's intracellular RNA is stable for 3 days at room temperatures between 18 and 25 degrees centigrade, or for 5 days when refrigerated at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade.